Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to just recognize the aggrieved family, Uncle Peter, Mapuleng, Magalemo, Leletu, and Letseho. I also just want to recognize the members of the provincial government who are present. Thank you for attending. Letseho, Gugu was a rebel, so sorry, Mr. Program Director, I'm going to kill your 3-minute rule. I'm looking at your ring, and I remember carrying that ring with Gugu for 8 days across the mountains of the Western Cape. Gugu loved you and admired you. Gugu and I had started out riding way stronger than her. But the plan was that he wanted to get to the finish line before her so that he could propose. Gugu couldn't do anything small. They had to be done properly. And I remember Letseho got stronger as we went through the week. And the night before, we were lying in the camper van. And Gugu leant over and turned to me and he said, "Dude, I don't think we're going to make it in before my wife." We then had to rope in a cycling partner and convince him to slow them down. And I remember Letseho coming back frustrated and saying, "This guy was stopping everywhere he could." because he knew he had to ensure that there was no way that she got across that finish line before him. And what a beautiful moment it was to see him kneeling down while he came down that road. It's something that he's been planning for so long, but you know, our wives are always smarter than we are, and he just knew that any other thing he tried, you'd always figure out he was busy doing that. So Jeezy, my brother, I have to admit, I'm not ready to let you go, my guy. We have walked some tough trails on our journey, but this one is by far the toughest you've led us on, Mfowethu. I suppose I can find some solace in the fact that your life, though short, was packed with purpose. Like that rally car you drove, you blew through this world impossible to ignore, leaving a crowd of gaping jaws, wishing that they could do what you did and extract as much joy, as much pure joy out of life as you did. Praji, there are many things that remain unsaid. I have many decisions pending as I was waiting to consult with you. We were supposed to braai last Sunday and look at the pics from your trip. Cindy and I were joking. We hoped that your camera broke or that you ran out of battery power, because you know Gugu used to take so many pictures. We thought if we had to look at the pictures, we'd sit there the whole day. Now, I'd give anything to spend one more day looking at those pics with you, to share dry lemon, for one more bike ride, champ. But you just couldn't do anything small either, could you? Almost as if it was even possible to forget you. Now we can't. I suppose it's fitting that you moved on while serving others, on the day that we celebrate one of this nation's greatest servants. I was really struggling with what to say. So this morning, someone sent me a message of encouragement. And it said, "The greatest legacies are those that encourage us to live our best lives." And just like that great man, Gugu, whose life on earth started on the day your journey here ended, I thank you for showing us what is possible. You, Braji, to me, you embody what I believe could be the modern African man. I admired you, Gugu. You were a man. You strived for excellence and succeeded where you should have failed. You're a man who used his success to profit not only himself, but his society as a whole. A man who openly honored, loved, and celebrated his wife. A man who took responsibility for his children. for his child, for his daughter, and he sought to raise her to be a positive contributor to society. A man who saw others. He saw others and he acknowledged them. He championed their dreams and ambitions as much as he did his own. A man who remembered and honored his parents, traditions, and rich culture. Cougs, you were a man who saw no color, neither your own nor that of another, and you just championed humanity. To you, Gugu, I say thank you, brother. Thank you for letting me share in your story. You will live on through me, through us. I'm a Catholic mfowethu. Ntabazitha.
Thank you, Andre. An unforgettable life indeed. I like what Andre says, and it's true of my experience with Gugu. Gugu genuinely saw others. You couldn't spend time with Gugu and forget him. He really just connected with people. It was an amazing talent. There aren't many people who have that, and he had it by the bucket load. Please may I invite Steve Elmark, who will also be giving a tribute. There he is.
Damn you, Andre. Damn you. I promised I would not be crying here today. But tears are good. Tears are good. Good morning to everyone that's here. The first thing Gugu would probably want to say is thank you. Thank you for being here. Mama, Baba, sister, Mama, sister, MEC, thank you. And dare I say, all protocols observed. Zulu boy, G-man, unjanim fetu is how we'd greet each other. You promised me lunch when you got back, so I guess this is it. I ordered you a dry lemon as usual. I still think it's weird that your drink of choice is a dry lemon, by the way. How was your trip? Tough, huh? Well, I just want you to know I'm proud of you. You've been wanting to make this climb for a long time. Oh, and by the way, you're a total rock star now, dude. I'm talking Mandela cool. Yeah. As I stand here on this cold winter day, all I have is the memory of your always smiling face that warms my soul and the echoes of your caring, distinctive voice. In you, I had a big brother and a friendship that was pure. Of that, you always made sure. The maturity I have in relationships, I owe to you. My fidelity in relationships, I owe to you. My being able to love one woman unconditionally and respecting everything about her, I owe to you. You made it cool to be faithful. You made it cool to be in love. When it came to the First Lady, or Bird, as you'd often call her in private, it was always about the best, and only the best was good enough. Like when we went ring shopping for your wedding. It wasn't about the cost of the ring, or what you liked. It was about getting the perfect ring that she wanted. I aspire to you. I keep looking into the heavens, wondering where you are and why you had to leave so soon. Your life was filled with so much promise, and death seemed so far away, yet it struck without warning. Now I know that the strength and the true meaning of poetry lies within the depths of the human emotion, and the reality of your absence in my life has finally found a way to puncture my feeble heart. The illusion of uncertainty has freed you from this world. but has made me a temporary slave to the future. I cannot revel happily in the possibility of the future because now I know that I cannot guarantee the next minute of my own life. Yet, all I see is your smile and your voice echoes that says, Steval, do what you can today and keep praying, for God is God. As I stood there speaking to your mom last night on the very couch you and I used to chill on, we laughed and cried as we reminisced at the joy you brought and the tears you've left behind. Gugu really slapped us, she said jokingly. I reminded her that tears are good, for they are a language understood only by God and his angels. They're too precious to be spoken, and so they must be shed. You've captured the love of a nation without trying, in a way that politicians can only dream. You simply lived your passion, adventure, loving people with humility. Mama, Mary had a lamb. You had a lamb. I last saw you on the day before you left for Kilimanjaro, as you gave your time as you normally would for the I Am Gauteng campaign that Jonathan Boynton Lee and I were putting together. The scene we're shooting of you was you kissing Letsako in the middle of the street. And you sent us a voice note that represented that moment on the night before you left, and it simply went.
This is our happily ever after. This is our happily ever after.
Your last text message to me and Jonathan was, my brothers, all the best with the project. I shall call out to you both from the roof of Africa and bid you well in all you do. Thanks for including us in your journey. A final thought of separation has sunk in as I sit here writing this tonight. It is time to say goodbye. Tears engulf my eyes and my fingers do not find the right rhythm to write my last words to you. I take comfort in the fact that I always told you how much I loved you and how proud I was of you. Who knew you'd be buried into the earth so soon? Death has no master or plans for the future because, like you in the afterlife, I am also a beautifully written tragedy bound by time in a place where you and I may find common ground to exist yet again. But through this confusion, through this darkness and separation, I promise you that the memories, your memories, will never be forgotten. And now that you're gone, I am forced to be a good boy so that when the gatekeeper calls, I can see you again. I, along with your other brothers, Andre, Mateo, Elmir, Bisi, and Ntai, will be the best father we can to your baby girl Iletu. And she will never, ever go hungry. From ashes to dust we come, and from ashes to dust we go. Rest in peace, my brother. It was my honor. Be still. Thank you.